violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, cyberspace? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Sania Khan was killed in River North back in July.
WGN's Sean Lewis has details on the lawsuit.
Well, Sania Khan's story is known around the world. She was an avid photographer and had gone viral on TikTok, documenting her journey getting out of an abusive marriage. That journey ended, though, tragically in July when her estranged husband was able to get into her Streeterville apartments.
Wow. So, guys, this is what you have to understand. She was documenting leaving this man, and we covered this story before. The TikToker who did the Tony Montana impression, he took his girl's life because he thought that she was cheating on him or whatnot. I think she was with another guy, not in the moment maybe, but shortly before, and he heard it on, I think, some type of device that they had in there, and he went nutso. And in court, he was spazzing at the judge. This guy has anger problems, obviously narcissistic characteristics, you know, a lot of mental health issues going on with him. But he had the fame, he had the popularity. He didn't have the insight or foresight to see how terribly his actions would, you know, affect the rest of his life and then end his wife's life. I mean, it's never worth it, bro. Y'all are really spazzing out, crashing out over these women, and I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it.
It's security video from inside Sania Khan's apartment building. Lawyers for Khan's family pointing to this man bypassing security in the lobby, saying it is Khan's estranged husband, Raheel Ahmad, the day of Khan's murder, July 18th.
Sania Khan,
damn, so they let Buddy right in.
Made TikTok videos about the stigma around divorce in the South Asian community.
And honestly, bro, I think that she doing all this documenting, it rubs it in the man's face. I'm not saying that she doesn't have a right to document her journey, but doing all this documenting and you know you dealing with a crazy dude, especially with them Asians, it's all about honor. Like, now he feels like you're dishonoring him and he has nothing to live for. I'm not victim blaming at all. I'm just saying you probably don't want to talk about your family business on TikTok, because you know he's stalking your page on burner accounts and then reading the comments, and they're making him feel like crap. And he is a piece of crap, obviously, after what he did. But this is taunting, I think, and a lot of women need to be cognizant of this, especially in this social media age. These dudes are not playing with you. These fried rice gremlins are on demon time. So let's read through this. She says, going through a divorce as a South Asian woman feels like you failed at life sometimes. The way the community labels you, the lack of emotional support you receive, and the pressure to stay with somebody because what will people say is isolating. It makes it harder for women to leave marriages that they shouldn't have been in to begin with. Then why'd you marry the man? This goes back to, oh, you chose him, you know? Sania Khan made TikTok videos about the stigma around divorce in the South Asian community.
She documented her journey online of getting out of an abusive marriage.
Sania shared her story with the public in hopes of giving strength and voices to those that did not come forward.
The couple married in June 2020.
And she was definitely beautiful, definitely looked good. I know that oh man, he simped out, bro. He simped out, and you know, there's this whole thing with the incel and this, that, and third. And yes, there are incels who spaz out and crash out, of course. But a lot of these dudes who are, you know, who have women, who are active with women, they're crashing out too. So you can't just say, oh, well, you know, it's an incel thing if you go and, you know, do something like this. These regular dudes are crashing out too. These guys who are in marriages, who are in, you know, cohabitating relationships, they crashing out too.
21, moving to Chicago, and by February of this year, she had filed for divorce after a failed attempt by Ahmad to kill them both in December.
She personally told the management employees that under no circumstances should Ahmed be allowed into the building because, again, she feared for her safety.
Wow, and I think these are the type of buildings where you got to have a key card to enter. Then you have to have a fob to go up the elevator. So looks like somebody let him in both ways.
She was a very, very loving daughter. We shared a very special bond.
Khan's mother today saying that she supported her daughter's decision for divorce. In a lawsuit filed today, attorneys for Khan's family alleged negligence by the building's management and a security firm. The complaint alleging that Ahmad posed as a potential renter to get into that building, and after having seen just one.
That man's smart, I ain't gonna lie. That was smart. How could they have known though? Like, it's not like they have his face at the front of the complex, and when you get hired, they show you all the faces of the people who banned. It's not the complex's fault. Seriously.
Apartment. It's alleged that Ahmad told the leasing agent he was going to see friends in the building and was allowed to do so on his own.
The defendants let Ahmed walk right through the door, past security, to a secured area of the residential apartments.
I mean, and of course, the family wants to be compensated somehow. This is a money grab, obviously. But just because somebody get killed in your building doesn't mean that the building owes you some money. I'll say that up front right now. And although I'm sorry for the loss of this woman, like, I think it's a stretch. Because how could they have known? How could they have known? Like, especially that leasing agent, she just trying to get a check. She had an appointment scheduled. She was on time. Like, I'm really trying to figure out how they're gonna blame the building for all this, but he played it smart, man. He knew what he was gonna do, and he did it, man. He did it
without even presenting an ID.
Carrying a backpack and a garment bag in his hands containing Khan's wedding dress, according to the lawsuit, Ahmad is in the elevator alone and exits finally on the 28th floor where Khan lived. He knocked on the door and eventually shot and killed her and then himself.
Damn.
And knowing that he killed her after, you know, going from out of that elevator, it's the hardest thing.
For the family, it is grief leading to this lawsuit and, they say, accountability.
I'm not going to get my daughter back, but I need justice for her. And I really feel that if they had followed the protocols that day, my daughter would have been alive.
We did reach out to the building's management company for comment. They have not yet gotten back to us. The security company named in this particular lawsuit says it has no record of ever having provided security at this particular apartment building.
God damn. That's crazy. Yo, they said, man, we ain't even never worked with this apartment building. Y'all got the wrong guy.
In Streeterville, Sean Lewis, WGN News.
Sarah?
Well, Raheel Sania Khan says her daughter went to great lengths to inform building management and security that her estranged husband should not be allowed to the.
Oh, okay. So I think I made a mistake. This isn't the guy who. This isn't like the Arab dude who X'd his girl out. This is the ex-military couple where I think she actually got kicked out of the military because she was doing OF and corn content. So I think this is the couple. She looks very familiar to the other woman, but if I'm not mistaken, hold on, let me just confirm, because I remember this story, but I think that this is like the girl who was doing the videos, not the girl who got X'd out by, because they said the man shot himself. afterwards and X himself out. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is that military couple, if I'm not mistaken.
Building because he was a security threat. Yet last summer, he was able to slip by security and gain access to various floors with a building rental agent.
Just a few minutes after Raheel Ahmad is seen getting off the 28th floor of a Streeterville apartment building, police say the 36-year-old shoots to death his estranged wife, Sania Khan, before turning the gun on himself.
Knowing that he killed her after, going from out of that elevator, it's the hardest thing.
28-year-old Sania was Shazia Khan's firstborn. Khan believes her daughter would be alive today if building management and security at 211 East Ohio Street followed apartment building protocols.
If they had run his name through the system somehow, and they would find out that, he was not allowed in there, and my daughter would be alive.
Sania, a Pakistani-American photographer, had moved to Chicago in 2021 with her then-husband, Raheel Ahmad. A few months later, their relationship unraveled. Sania accused Ahmad of spousal abuse. She spent the last few months of her life sharing her story on social media, hoping to give a voice to other mothers.
Okay, yeah. So I ain't gonna lie, there's been so many chicks who've been exed out by their man. I kind of get confused, but so there you have it. She moved to Chicago with the man. That's what it was. Because I remember doing a story on this one, but she looks very similar to the other woman who was on TikTok with her boyfriend who was like doing the Tony Montana impressions. But he's in jail, so it threw me off when they said, oh, he X'd himself out too. Then I was like, oh, okay, so which one was it? But yeah, yeah, Shorty got X'd out, bruh. Honestly, you can't really blame the building. I don't think you can really blame the building. He did that joint slick as a fool, and he could have used a fake name too. So I don't know.
Muslim women afraid to speak up. Sania also filed for divorce and took steps to keep Ahmad away from her apartment building.
She personally told the management employees that under no circumstances should Ahmed be allowed into the building because, again, she feared for her safety.
But on July 18th, Ahmad was allowed in the building. Video obtained by the law firm Taxman, Murray, Pollock, and Beckerman shows Ahmad entered a secure area with a rental agent without his ID being checked, according to a lawsuit filed against.
There you have it. So are you gonna blame that agent?
Building management and security. Ahmad was carrying with him a garment bag containing Sania's wedding dress and a backpack with a gun. He eventually left the rental agent and made his way to Sania's apartment, where he broke in and killed her.
Man, that's insane. But you can that guy crazy, but you cannot blame the building.
Losing a child is the hardest thing that I have gone through, and I have to live with that for the rest of my life, just because of their negligence.
Okay, so she's not the one who did the corn videos. Okay, she's not the one. Okay, there was a couple, but she's not the one.
At first, Sania Khan says she was hesitant to file a lawsuit, but she felt it was the only way to get justice for her daughter. So far, the building management company, First Service Residential Illinois, has not returned our requests for a response to the leak.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
Good afternoon. I'm Erica Sargent.
Great to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlin. She was shot and killed by her estranged husband at her Streeterville apartment in July. Now her family tells us her murder was completely avoidable.
Today, the family of Sania Khan filed a lawsuit against the building management and security, accusing them of gross negligence. CBS 2's Tara Molina is live outside the building in Streeterville.
Tara, the family claims the building knew the victim's estranged husband was a serious threat.
She called.
Joe and Erica, that's what the family said in this lawsuit just filed, and it's also what they told us today. They say he was not only banned from the building, known to be a serious threat, but he was then allowed inside this summer to tour rental units, then allowed to stay inside of the building unaccompanied without ever providing or showing an ID, and it's all caught on surveillance cameras.
And that's an honest mistake by the leasing agent. She's not a trained professional when it comes to security. And, you know, obviously, she's also a woman, so it appears that she might have cut corners, maybe wanted to go ahead and get that viewing or showing over with. I'm not saying she did that because she is a woman, but I'm just saying, you know, that could have been the reason why she didn't pay attention to the details, because usually you're supposed to show your ID when you're looking at a unit just to verify that you're the same person who qualified for that unit. But you know, they just accepted what he was saying at face value. They didn't really have, or she didn't really have real reason to question him, so why not?
Like, these are hot.
They say for her creative portraits, we listened to her favorite songs from her teenage years and embraced all her beauty in the name of healing. She was so optimistic and open to sharing her story in hopes to help others, and I know she will continue to help others in her passing. So yeah, I think that sharing the story, like you talking about a man when y'all was in the public relationship on social media, is not a good look.
This is the hardest thing that I have gone through.
A tearful mother mourning the loss of her 29-year-old daughter, Sania Khan.
I have to live with that for the rest of my life, just because of their negligence.
Building negligence, she says, is caught on camera and detailed in the lawsuit.
Man, look. Like I said, I feel sorry for their loss, but building negligence, stop it.
Just filed against her daughter's building, 211 East Ohio Street. Take a look at your screen. This is surveillance camera video from throughout the building, the day Sania was killed by her estranged husband before he turned the gun on himself. You can see him, Raheel Ahmad, walking into the lobby with 2 large packages in his hands, never checking in with the front desk. You see him meet up with a rental agent. They get into the elevators, but he never once shows her or those at the front desk his ID.
She was too focused on that phone and that Starbucks.
No one checks his bags.
I really feel that if they had followed the protocols that day, my daughter would have been alive.
And a lot of times these leasing agents, they're not even, like, they don't work at the building. Sometimes they're like brokers, and they, you know, get leases signed, and they get a commission once the lease is signed, and then, you know, from your deposit, and then they keep it pushing.
It didn't all start on this day, caught on camera. In December of 2021, Ahmad tried to jump out of the window of the building, trying to push Sania out with him. Police responded, and he was taken to a mental health facility. Sania changed the locks and
he should have been taken to prison.
Removed his name from the lease, filing for divorce in February, and in the spring of 2022, notifying all parties involved in managing and securing the building, already aware of the December incident, of the threat Ahmad posed, not to allow him in the building. But months later, July 2022, the murder-suicide.
If either the management or security would have followed their policies, they would have checked his ID. They would have known that he was on a no-entry list for that building, and he would have never gotten past that secure door.
Those 2 packages Ahmad entered the building with, seen here on surveillance cameras, family attorneys say the garment bag had Sania's wedding dress inside.
Weirdo, bruh. He probably made her put it on.
And the backpack had the gun he shot her and himself with.
I really feel that someone needs to be accountable for for the negligence they have done.
Like I said, I understand she's a grieving mother, but this ain't the way, boo-boo. This is not the way. I think that attorney done boosted your head up. I don't really think you have a case. And these dudes, these apartment complexes, they got big money. They got money to burn. So is he going to take this pro bono? How much money are you going to spend on a lawsuit? You know, and you're going to have to bring the realtor, involve her, because if she doesn't work for the complex and she's like a broker or something, like she kind of freelance brokers apartment units for different high rises, you're going to have a hard time making your case. So I just don't think this is the way. You'd be better off doing a GoFundMe.
Of course, I reached the building and their management company for a response to all of this. We still haven't heard back from them, but I did hear back from the security company that's cited in this lawsuit. They told me they don't provide security for this building. Reporting live in Streeterville, I'm Tara Molina, CBS 2 News.
Tara, thank you.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.